Hey yo, what's good? Hope you're doing well. This is Kyle here, just coming to you with a Dragon Ball countdown. Top villains from Dragon Ball. That's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. I'm gonna try my best to give you my list. You probably won't agree, and that's okay. It's my list. I want you guys to let me know your list. Number 5, top villains list. I'm gonna have to go with Android 17 and 18. They're very menacing, they're very creepy, it's kind of weird because they're kind of like good-looking young people, but they're just these menacing villains, and Trunks has told horror stories, and the Z fighters have been preparing for this moment against these two villains, and they are just stronger at the time, stronger than anybody else, by far. And so, they're number 5 for me. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with Boo. Boo is kind of this, like, for me, he's a weird villain. He's extremely powerful, just weird and frustrating to fight to me. That's just what I would think of. I think Boo is frustrating to fight. He's just hard to beat. As you can see, it's just the whole Boo saga, that was just a roller coaster, you know, the good guys got him cornered, and then he just eats somebody, or he defeats someone, or twists and turns in the Boo saga. And I like him as a villain for that reason, that he's so unpredictable, he's so frustrating to fight, hard to beat, and Boo is number 4 for me. Before I go into my next pick, I'm going to give you my honorable mention. Piccolo. Piccolo is an honorable mention for top villains, because I think his whole character is just such a great character arc, and he started off as a villain, enemy to Goku. He ends up becoming an ally through a weird, strange turn of events. You know, he was Goku's main guy, who he was like ready to square off with before Raditz came. He was the enemy to Goku. So Piccolo is my honorable mention for top villain. Cell. I'm picking Cell number 3 because he's just such a good villain, because he's so creepy. He's the one who sneaks up on us, in the sense, because we're not expecting Cell to be the main villain. We're expecting the androids to be the villains that we're trying to defeat. We've been trying so hard to defeat these androids, and all of a sudden, who's this new creepy guy that's swallowing people up, who's absorbing people, and who's just looking to absorb the androids? And he was just creepy, he was menacing, he was strong, not the strongest at first, you know, but he was strong, but he was just creepy how he would absorb people, and he became one of the strongest villains, you know, and ultimately in his final form, Cell, in his perfect form, you know, he was just so nonchalant to me. I like that he was so he seemed like almost like a nice guy in a sense. He just was like creepy by how nonchalant and how calm he was, I think, but he was just looking for a challenge. In the Cell games, he was looking for someone to challenge him, and that made him, you know, like almost unthreatening by first glance, but then when you saw what he actually does, you could see how evil of a villain he is. You know, just destroying the military, just destroying anybody who would come at him. You know, this guy is evil, and he is a menacing villain for sure, and he's my number 3 pick. Number 2, I'm going with Vegeta. Vegeta, obviously we know he became a good guy, he became a hero fighting with the Z fighters. But Vegeta, before he ever became good, he was just by far, to me, one of the best villains of Dragon Ball. He was just Goku's arch nemesis. He was his counterpart, and Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans, comes to the Earth only to be bested by this no-class, nobody, you know, underclassed Saiyan warrior who's just has no business putting up this fight against the Prince of all Saiyans. And Vegeta just got his butt handed to him, but Vegeta came back stronger than ever on Namek, and Vegeta was just always striking fear in whoever was in his way. Krillin and Gohan and Planet Namek, they were just afraid of Vegeta, man. This guy was so bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is just such a good villain, and ultimately he just wanted to best Kakarot, to defeat Goku, and he's just such a great villain before he turned good. And I think he and Piccolo have two of the best story arcs, character arcs, in the series of Dragon Ball Z. Love Vegeta, love his character. Number 1, I'm gonna go with Frieza. Frieza, to me, is by far the best villain of Dragon Ball Z. In fact, if you look at Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, I mean, the guy was such a good villain. Like, and when I say good villain, I mean he is evil. He is the kind of guy who you don't want to run into. He's the kind of guy who, like, there's a lot of hype about in Dragon Ball Z. There was a lot of hype about Frieza. I mean, if there's a guy who's more fierce and evil than Vegeta, who Vegeta would even, like, fear, and Frieza, you know, this guy's gotta be bad. You know, he's gotta be bad. And so he's got a lot of hype to live up to, but when we meet Frieza on Planet Namek, he lives up to the hype. He lives up to all of it, and then some. This guy is evil. This guy is crazy. He's a terror, and he destroyed Planet Vegeta. He destroyed the Saiyans, and this guy is just crazy, bad to the bone, evil, pure evil, and such a good villain. Such a good villain. This is what you would want in a villain in a TV show. And so he's such a good villain that the creators of Dragon Ball looked to bring him back. They brought Frieza back over and over again simply because he is the best villain. The best villain. Those are my top 5 Dragon Ball villains. God bless. Have a great day.